Hi friend, my name is Sharat Chandran. In this video, I am going to teach you the most popular React coding interview question and answer. When you are attending a React interview, there will be coding round. Today coding round is there in all the interviews. In the coding round, they will be asking you one popular question, which is integrating a list API. So we will be asked to share the screen and we will be asked to do it in an online compiler. In this task that is given to us, integrating the list API, they are actually checking our React knowledge, because in order to do this task, we need the knowledge of all the basic React concepts. We need to know API calling, we need to know useStateHook, we need to know useEffectHook, we need to know list and key concept. So these four core concepts of React is being tested using this question. So let's do it. Okay, I will show you how to do it. So they will be giving us API which is available for free. They will be giving us a link. So here we can take this API from fake store API, which gives a list of products. Okay, so they will ask us to show this list of products into UI by calling this API. So what we have to do is we have to copy this URL. They will give us the URL. Okay, the interviewer will give us the URL. So we have taken a online compiler. We can delete the code which is already existing. Okay, we don't need this. Okay, we have to import the use effect hook. Okay, because in the use effect hook we will be calling the API. When you are doing the coding, it is better if you can explain what you are doing. Okay, just like I am explaining, you can explain if you want. If you don't want, you can skip. If you are sure of what you are doing, you can explain also. We need to take the products and then store the products in a state array. For that we are using the useStateHook, and initial value will be empty array. Initially there is no data, we will get from API, store it in it. We need to also show loading and error. Okay, when the API is getting called, we need to show a text message loading. So in order to handle the loading, we are creating this loading state variable. And if error happened, we need to handle that also. This is also a false value by default. Okay, now in the useEffect hook, useEffect takes a function and a dependency array as argument. Okay, there is a function and dependency array. This dependency array is given as empty, which means this useEffect will work when the component is getting loaded into the screen. So here let's write a function async function fetch products. Here we are taking the products, we are calling the product API. If they are giving you a user API, then change the name accordingly. Fetch users, change the fetch products into fetch users. Okay, here also instead of products and set products, use set users and set users. So we have to do the try catch. Here let's call the API response equal to await fetch, then we have to paste the URL. Await, fetch and paste the URL. This will call the API. Then we have to check like this, if response.ok, that means if the API call is successful, then we have to take the products response.json. We have to convert the API response into JSON because we are using the fetch API. Okay. So we are taking the response and converting it into JSON and storing it in products, and then we can set the products in the state array. Okay, in the products. So that products API response will be set into that state array, state variable. Here we have to set loading as true because the API is getting called. If response is okay, then we have to set the loading as false. Okay, we have set the loading as false. If response is, if some error happens during API call, then control will go to the catch block. So in the catch block, we have to set the loading as false, and also we have to set error as true, which means error have happened. We can give a finary block, and inside that we can set the loading as false. Okay, so we have called the API, so we can run here. We have to right click, inspect, go to the network, and then click on run. The API call is not happening. Why the API call is not happening? Because we have not called the function. Okay, so now we have called the function. So right click, inspect, network, run. So now you can see here the products API call is happening. Okay, the products API call is happening. The response is coming as an array, right? And you have to look at the keys. There is ID, title, price, description, image, and all of those things. So now what we can do is we can map it into the UI. Okay, so here you can see, let's add the loading state. Okay, loading. If loading is true, then this is called as conditional rendering. If loading is true, then show this text loading. So can you see loading? When the API is getting called, there is a loading text that is coming. So when we are doing all of these things, the interviewer will get to know that we know React concepts better. Then we can do the same for error also. If some error happened, then instead of loading, we can write like this, something went wrong, or we can simply write error. Okay, now it is time to show the products. So products dot map product we can map it into, they will be asking us to map it into a list. Okay, so we can give ul means unordered list. Okay, and each item will be li, and we have to give the key property. If you are missing the key property, that will be a negative. Okay, because whenever we are mapping, key property is very important. So inside this we can do product dot title. So you can see here, we called the API, we took the products, and we are showing it as a list in the UI. So our interview question is done, mapping a list API into UI. We have mapped it, right? This is the mapping code, products.map. We are mapping each into a li, and the key concept is important. In React, whenever we are mapping a list of items, each item in the list should have a key. This key is used by the virtual DOM to know which item have changed or not. Okay, we have shown the loading state also, we have shown the error also. If we are running again, you can see first loading comes, then list comes. So I will explain you what we have done. Okay, we imported useState and useEffect hook. We created 3 state variables. One is for the data products, second is for loading and error state. Then inside useEffect, with empty dependency array, we called the API. This fetch products function calls the API. We called the API. If the response is okay, that means API call is success. We set the products, right? If error happens, then we are setting error as true. Okay, and we called that function here, and we showed the list of items. If you are doing this question exactly as I showed you in the coding interview round of React, then you will definitely get selected. Let me know about the video in comments. If you have any doubts, ask me. If you like the video, give me a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel.